Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. So this week's video is going to be about specifically web development because it's something that I've been working on quite a bit recently. As I talked about last summer, I had been working a little bit in web development and trying to get more into it. That's what my summer project last year was about, and I've actually continued that project now. So it was kind of put on hold for a little while. We were switching hosts and we were just kind of getting things sorted out, but that is back on the go now. So I've been working on that. I'm also working on another project that is a website, and I'm like fully working on them, which is really exciting. And they're going to be real websites that the world is going to see, and it's a lot. But I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about web development and how I have been teaching it to myself. Because none of my courses are strictly web development based, I have been learning a lot of the stuff by myself on the side, which luckily, thanks to the internet, is not that great of an endeavor anymore because there are so many free online coding resources. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video. I wanted to talk to you guys about what I've been doing, what I've been using online in order to teach myself, how I learn, kind of the strategies that I've been using to learn it, and also give you some good resources for if you're on the same path as me and you're kind of a beginner web developer and are just looking for more information and kind of the basics, because that's where I'm at. So first I'm just going to talk about a couple of resources that I've been using. I've mentioned some of them in videos before, some of them are brand new. A couple sites that offer online, not strictly web development courses, but they offer courses in the languages that you'll be using if you're developing websites. So my top two are Udemy and SoloLearn. SoloLearn is completely free. I think I've discussed it before. So HTML, CSS is on there, JavaScript, PHP, I think Ruby, honestly Ruby might be on there as well. SQL is there, so that's a good place to get started. It's a free account and it teaches you the basics, so it's not super in-depth, but if you're just trying to get like an overall idea of what you want to do, or kind of the general idea of how you will be making websites, that's a really good place to start. Udemy has more full-length courses, so it's more like university type teaching, I guess, because it's usually an instructor and he's walking through lesson plans and that kind of thing. So if you learn better that way, visually, by watching someone and learning from like a professor, then Udemy is a really great way to do that. It has paid courses as well as free courses. I so far have found that the free courses are completely sufficient for what I'm trying to do, because I'm the type of person that kind of just learns the basics and then throws myself into the complicated stuff and kind of uses what I already know to work my way through. It's just how I learn better, is by actually doing things. Another new one that I found that I haven't gotten too much time to try out is called the Odin Project, and it's basically an entire site whose focus is to teach you web development. So the course section, I guess, that I'm reading through right now on the Odin Project is called Web Development 101. And the reason that I like this site is because so far, even from the first few that I've read in the Web Development 101, I like about it that it teaches the technical side, like it kind of talks about the technical skills you're gonna need, as well as how to succeed on like a more personal, like human, face-to-face kind of level. So it talks about skills that you're actually going to need in the industry. So that's on the Odin Project, as well as a YouTube channel that I've been watching lately called Treehouse. So all of these resources will be linked below. But Treehouse is also a lot of kind of really short, quick, entertaining, informational videos about various aspects of web development that if you're a complete beginner like I am, you may not necessarily know much about. Like, for example, back-end versus front-end, like what's the difference? Do web developers also do website design? Like, are those things the same? What level of people am I going to be working with? Is it going to be directly with clients? Like, I guess the more real-world work kind of side of it, they walk through a lot of that on Treehouse. So I've really been enjoying those videos just to kind of get an idea of how it's going to be besides the actual technical skills. And like I said, what I like to do is kind of just learn the basics, kind of get a good foundation, and then throw myself in and kind of figure it out from there. So something that's really helpful for that is called Jsbin. You've probably heard of it if you're even a little bit interested in this kind of stuff. So it's basically a real-time website development tool. So it supports languages like JavaScript, CSS, HTML. You type them into one side of the screen and then it will show you what the website looks like as you are building it on the other screen. So rather than having to like use a local host and reload your server every time, like in order to see what site you're building and what changes have been made, it shows you real time what you're changing and what you're moving. So it's kind of easier to keep track of, and it's a really good way to play around with like smaller aspects, like if you just want to work on a navigation bar or a specific kind of button or learning how the columns work, that kind of thing. Jsbin is so helpful just to see the general idea of how that stuff works. And then lastly, I guess I wanted to give a couple tips, just because so far I have been able to actually start working on some sites and it's very exciting, and this path is very high up there for what I want to do. Ideally, it would be a full stack developer as well as doing web design, just because I love the graphic design and the actual like layouts and color schemes and graphics and all of that stuff. So ideally, I kind of want to be the whole package that way. But I thought I would give a couple tips for how to get started, or at least discuss how I've been able to start these projects. So like I said, one of them is through the school. So it's a club that I was actually in and I participated in as a general member. And then they basically needed someone to work on the website. So I jumped in there and I was like, hey, please let me do it. I don't have a lot of experience, but it's not a paid position, and because it's through the school, it's a little more lenient. They're like, yeah, like we would love to have one of our own students doing it, especially someone who's in the club anyways. So that's how I started the first project. The second project was actually through a friend, that it was basically through word of mouth, because my friends know, I guess, that I'm interested in it. So when an opportunity like that arises, I guess she kind of took that for me and was like, here, I found this for you. So, I mean, I have great friends, I guess. But like, always look through other people. Like, I have so many friends that have small businesses or want to start small businesses, or smaller companies, like local companies that maybe don't have a website yet, or their website, don't tell them this to their face, but it's looking a little rough, and you know that it's something you could work at. There's no reason that you shouldn't reach out to those people, even just to ask. Like, maybe they want an intern on their team, they want someone to kind of train and learn the ropes. You never really know what you'll find that way, and if you put out there that you're looking for those kinds of positions, then a lot of the time the people that you talk to, they know people and they know people, and then connections will come back. And if you don't necessarily want to start working for someone or want to like build a website directly for someone, you just want to practice your skills, figure out what you can do. Another great thing that you can do is to kind of make an online portfolio of what you know how to do. So just get yourself a domain. One of the free ones works absolutely fine, and work on your skills by creating a web page and then maybe linking to a second web page with a different setup and a different dynamic, and just use your site that you have, even if it's a free site, as a portfolio to show off what you can actually put in a website and what skills you've developed so far. It gives you practice, and it also gives you something to show for that work that you've put in, because now you have kind of an online portfolio that is showcasing the skills, the exact skills in the exact format that they're going to be on a website for people that are going to get you to be developing their sites. So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that, because I'm very excited about it, but it's fun to be working on something that is what I really want to be doing anyways. So I thought that I would kind of share exactly what I was doing, how I've been learning, and you guys can kind of, like, I'm such a beginner still, so if you guys are looking to like jump into web development, you should totally start now. Use some of the resources I named, and then we can do this whole journey together, because I am at the beginning. But I thought I would let you guys know what has made things easier for me, how I've found any projects to work on, how I'm trying to gain experience, and just ultimately how I'm like trying to build this into a career that I can actually pursue and work on after school's over. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that video. As always, if you want me to go into more depth on anything that I talked about, or if you have any other video suggestions, always leave them down below. But yeah, I should be studying, so don't forget to smile, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.